In late 19th century America, pop culture was changing faster than someone who can't pick an outfit. And with people flooding into towns and cities and whatnot, the existing patterns of recreation and leisure were beginning to change, and new patterns were emerging. While rural farmers were more tied to the land and had to occupy a lot of their time with, farming, they had much less free time. But in cities, not only did people have more free time, they were richer, because of everyone's favorite, discretionary income. However, despite this, many upper and middle class families often preferred to spend time together, playing board games, reading books, and singing around the piano. People also started to realize that politics were pretty entertaining. I'm sure that'll last. People loved going to all sorts of places to hear political speeches from visiting candidates. And in line with that, people began realizing how fun it is to go watch things happen with a bunch of strangers. And so everyone became very interested in spectator sports, fancy concerts, plays, fancy plays, dance parties, and vaudeville shows. Vaudeville shows were like big talent shows, but for professionals. Everyone loved going to the show, and everyone was welcome. But everyone was also expected to behave themselves. No loud cheering, no booing, and no tobacco spitting. Vaudeville houses promised to always provide entertainment that epitomized the spice of life, with its motto, ever to please and never to offend. I'm sure that last part won't ever be a problem. During this time, people also became avid enjoyers of saloons, and they were so popular that you might forget you lived somewhere else. This was for many reasons, not least of which because you could get a beer for 5 cents and a whiskey for 15. They tried that today, they'd put everyone out of business, including themselves. But besides food and alcohol, saloons also offered other things, like heated interiors, public restrooms, and fellowship! Saloons were like societal hubs. You'd even vote and cash checks. And of course, gossip. And there were plenty of high-octane bar games to play, like chess, and cards, and handball! However, saloons also garnered a lot of criticism from anti-liquor societies that, not unlike some of today's interesting Facebook groups, blamed saloons for societal degeneration. These people advocated for saloons to be closed down. It didn't work. But people didn't just like having fun indoors, oh no, because now it's time for outdoor recreation. Since cities are historically gross and nasty, and after being given one of the largest city parks in the world, people decided that grass and trees were alright. And so began the rise of urban parks. People began playing games in the parks, like tennis and croquet. Croquet was especially fun because it could be combined with dating. And you know what else is a fun dating activity? Wheeling, or cycling, which became very popular despite how uncomfortable and dangerous it was. Ain't that just a metaphor for the human condition? But not everyone could afford a bike, so some of the poorer residents of cities preferred to go busking on street corners. And some even formed singing groups or engaged in other fun pastimes like baseball, and bare-knuckle boxing, and picnics. But by 1900, people also enjoyed theme parks like Coney Island, where there was fun for the whole family. But you know what else happened in the late 19th century? Sports! College and professional baseball and college football gained so much popularity that they might have forgotten to use effective helmets. Our old friend the Humble Saloon even participated by posting game scores. These sporting events became a huge phenomenon that united different ethnic groups in their common enjoyment of watching athletes perform. By the end of the century, football was drawing tens of thousands of spectators, and basketball, invented when a PE teacher nailed a couple of buckets to the walls of a YMCA, was becoming a growing interest to both boys and girls. However, baseball was still the most popular for Americans. By 1900, sports had become a huge deal in America. They even included cycling once they made it less painful and dangerous. So it looks like things in America in the late 19th century were going great, and I'm sure that there won't be any more drastic changes to American pop culture anytime soon, right?